Hey everybody, welcome to stream. Hope you're all doing well. Hold on, just give me a second while I wait to make sure we're connected and all good. I think today's going to be a shorter stream. I wasn't even planning to stream today. Things didn't really go as planned on the last stream, so today's kind of a stream where I'm going to make up by getting less than normal in my encounters. We're just going to go for, say, let's see, where are we sitting at right now? 1945. Today my goal will be to grab exactly 155 encounters, or at least try to get 155. If we possibly get a shiny, which I don't think is going to happen, then we'll stop, probably shortly after that. For anybody who's not been keeping up, I've had a really, really rough weekend, and this is only getting into, some of the smaller details, but some nasty stuff went down on my Discord yesterday that I don't know if I want to talk about, right away or not. It was kind of hard to, bring it up in the first place, and on top of that, there's also the matter of, my internet's not been working great. It's been unstable. Both for, watching stuff online, like me watching streams or videos or whatever, or me streaming. It's been bad. Yesterday, I had the stream die on me, and after I tried to restart it, it was still dying, so I just kind of stopped. I know some people try to bite it and try to, stream. Whenever I see that shit, I can't really do much about it. That's something I don't love about where I live, honestly. I want to move, actually, at least a little bit, but I mean, it's a problem for a number of reasons. For starters, what's going on here? Oh, wait, is this about the thing about raids? Even then, I'm not doing raids right now. It very clearly mentions I'm doing Regidrago shiny hunting right now. Sorry. Anyway, where was I? I was talking about my situation in my life, honestly. I want to move really badly. I can't, I don't think. I've got a lot of problems where I live, namely just that I feel like I don't want to be stuck being influenced by my parents. I mean, I'm not living with them anymore, so that's not as big of a problem, but still an issue. They still get way too involved in my life. On top of that, they're not exactly the nicest to me. I've mentioned that before, and also, just I can't get very good internet. The internet I get here is kind of not that great, so yeah, I frankly, right now, things have been kind of not great. Hold on a second, I see something on my phone. What's this about? Oh, it's just nothing. Never mind, it was something pointless. Not a big deal. I'm frustrated. I've been stuck with Suddenlink for a few years. Anybody's not aware of what that is, like a cable phone internet service. They have not that great at internet, but they're the highest speed available in my area, so they're pretty much what I've gone to for internet right now, and it's frustrating dealing with their bullshit when I'm having, internet connectivity issues, and I don't hear about anybody else having it. You try to call into their tech support, and then they want to send the tech down. They won't do it for, 3 or 4 days, and I feel like I don't see this out of a lot of big companies. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I wish there was a way to get something done, get more direct, actual conversation, so I could get somebody to come look at a problem while it's there instead of just ignoring it and not really fixing it. Last year, I think I mentioned when I was going through that Apple and Shiny hunt that I was having serious internet problems, and that never really got resolved until a month or so later. It was just awful. I've been looking into what's been going on my internet. I don't know if it's serious, but I've been hearing people say that supposedly they can have internet connectivity issues when it's cold out. I don't know how all that works. I'm not super technical, so I don't really have enough know-how to actually know whether or not that's what's impacting my internet. I mean, I'd like to look into it and see if maybe that's right, but I don't know. I hear sometimes cold messes with the signal on the wires, and I'm wondering if maybe that's decreasing the strength of my connection right now, and maybe that's why I'm having trouble staying connected to the internet while I'm trying to play. I mean, it actually would explain what happened last year too, but it doesn't explain why they took like a month to fix it. It was all calm, and then it all went out of control just all of a sudden. That was miserable. I'm not going to talk about that too much. How have you guys been? Hopefully good. Today's not been the best start for me today. It's not been too bad. I mean, I've had some stuff that I was dealing with after I got back home. Yesterday, went to therapy. I cooked myself something really good, though, yesterday. I got some pork chops and cooked those yesterday. That was a treat. I enjoyed eating pork chops for the first time, and I don't know how long. I haven't had them very often. I don't like to cook because I don't like the cleanup of it. It's more annoying for me to clean up than it is anything, so I tend to avoid doing that unless it's a necessity. I don't know, just me. I don't know if anybody else here is around, like, adult age, or even not even adult, just, like, they're, say, like, teenager-wise, and they like to cook, like, yeah, I like cooking, I just don't like the cleanup aspect of it. It's pretty good, honestly. Unfortunately, when I was finishing, I had an accidental spill and had to take off, like, one of my burners on my... Yeah, took off a burner on my oven to try and clean it up, and it got stuck when I tried to put it back in, and it's not, like, sat on correctly. Now I have to get somebody to come look at it and come fix it. It's a bit of a nuisance. That's something I wasn't even trying to do, just... I don't know, I guess I was pouring like a gravy. I guess I should have done it when I was sitting over my table or whatever. I want to look into more recipes. I'm not really the type who cooks enough stuff. Like, I like cooking, but I also don't cook like a whole ton of things. I can cook pork chops, I can cook hamburgers, chicken, fish. That's probably about it for right now. Like, I can cook more than that, but I don't really try. I'm not the best at memorizing recipes, so yeah, my cooking probably could use a little bit more work. I have stuff I like to cook quite a bit, though, and I'm not that bad at it, so it's fun cooking food for me. Sometimes it doesn't exactly happen to work out amazingly, though. Let me see. I'm going to see. I got a lot of things I wanted to talk about. Let me just see what I'm in the mood to mention right now, because I have a list like always. Let's see. Oh, excuse me, my throat's acting up. Give me a second or two. I've got a lot of things on here that I wanted to talk about, so it's like I'm just trying to pick something that I'm in the mood to talk about at the moment. You guys ever dealt with, like, any particularly nasty computer viruses? Just, like, making a little bit of small talk and talking technical stuff. I've dealt with them more than enough. I think anybody who's used a computer will have to deal with the computer virus at least once, and I remember my last computer, I stupidly chose not to get any type of antivirus protection. That was a giant mistake, considering websites will sneak, like, all kinds of stuff on your computer if you don't. I can't even name how many different viruses I've seen. They all seem to have, like, different functionality to them on how they work. Hey, C's, welcome to stream. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Throat's acting up right now. I'm going to be doing a rather short stream today. I've been having internet issues, but I didn't already elaborate on that on the Discord, so can't afford to be going on for super long, despite the fact that I'd like to do a normal session after yesterday and after I've been having, like, continual problems throughout the month so far. How's your day and really just your week going, I guess? Hopefully better than mine. I'm not happy about what's been going on lately. Yesterday was kind of lame. I had to make a decision that I didn't want to have to do. I had to ban somebody that well, I mean, I hate to say that I wasn't willing to, but, like, I didn't want to have to go through with banning them if I didn't have to, and it was somebody who was somebody like an important enough member of the community, I guess. Somebody who was a regular, but it was the thing I had to do, and it kind of stung a little bit. Oh, excuse me. And practically nothing in school. Sounds like a really boring time. Yeah, that's school for you. Usually days really, really lame and not really anything fun happening. At least when I was in school, it happened to be like that a whole lot, and it was kind of just, it wasn't a very fun experience, to say the least. I remember when I was younger, I used to bring, like, games with me to school, but one day I had somebody, like, steal my DS from me after I brought it, and then after that I was, like, really hesitant to bring it. Somebody stole it, and I had, like, my DS and a copy of the Nintendogs with me, and somebody took it after, like, we were doing, like, our break period where we could, like, just hang out and chat, whatever, and do stuff like that. It was kind of not very fun, to say the least. It was very, very irritating, to say that much. I felt lame not having access to it. It's fun. Math, English, and Irish. One game. There's another. Oh yeah, I thought I read that wrong. I think I read it right. Yeah. Huh. That sounds like it would have been. Alright, I'm not a big fan of doing math and English. I mean, English can be good. I think one thing I like about English classes is that, yeah, at least when I was younger, yeah, you have to read a lot, and it was kind of nice to do, like, reading stuff. It was honestly one of the more fun classes to sit down and read stories and stuff, and that was pretty good. Some guy from your class got kicked. That's interesting. I feel like I hear about a lot of different stories like that when like I'm younger, or just like in general, like people doing dumb shit in school. Hi there, welcome to the stream. I'm not sure what your comment's referring to by that, but welcome nonetheless. I mean, if it's about the encounter thing, yeah, this has been very, very slow and very, very painful. I don't think anybody, what? Oh wait, I just noticed the name. You know what, never mind. I was gonna try and be nice, and I didn't even notice the name. Okay, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna do what I would normally do here. Give me a second. I'm not going to give this guy satisfaction of what he wants. I'm just going to fucking ban him. There. Problem solved. It's like, no. Not reported, you're just going to fucking leave, and that's all that's going to happen. I don't know why people think it's cool to do this shit where they make names like this and intentionally try to provoke a reaction. It's like, nobody made you do this with your name. Just don't. It's like, is it that hard to fucking not be a total weirdo on the internet? Like, I hate to be rude, but like, come on, there's really no need for a racist name like that. I mean, there's more than one thing wrong with that name. You deserved it. Yeah, you made a lot of jerks in school. I wouldn't be surprised about that. I'm honestly of like, oh, that's what I wasn't sure if you meant he got kicked out of the class or what, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, fucking, there's a lot of assholes in school. It's just like, it's the way it is. I met a lot of people in high school where they were total fucking dicks and had to just endure it and deal with it. It was not a fun process. Thankfully, after school, like, everyday life as an adult is a lot easier to handle. I feel like as an adult, you don't run into the same immature bullshit you will as a kid. A lot of people as adults seem to fucking grow up and understand the idea that, you know, maybe being a jerk for no reason and fucking and harassing people isn't a very good idea. I think part of it's people being dumbasses as kids because they get bored and don't have anything to do, and so they take their boredom and then turn it into aggression. It's like, that's not a good way to resolve your problems. That's actually a really, really bad way to try and solve your problems, and it's only going to come back to bite you in the ass. Especially if you ever find yourself in an interview and you end up had to answer like questions about how your past and like how truthfully like what you did stuff like. I mean, sure, you can hide that stuff to some extent, but it's like if you have to come out and say, yeah, you bullied somebody as a kid and bullied like a whole bunch of people, then it's not going to look good for you. It's like, yeah, that's not something you should be doing. I mean, I think everybody's gone through some kind of experience where they've probably not even intentionally, like, gone through bullying somebody and then they realize later on they're assholes. But there's also the kind of people who intentionally choose to bully, like, as many people as they can, and they don't feel any remorse for it. Those people are kind of shitbags, to be honest. Those people are not very good people. Oh, man. Whew. Anyway, where were we? We were talking about a lot of stuff. I guess I've got one thing I can bring up right now. Anyway, or actually multiple things. I know the holidays are coming up really soon. So, we could talk Christmas stuff. I'm going to wait a little bit before we do, but, like, out of curiosity, just to see what everybody says about this, what's everybody's, like, New Year's resolutions for 2021? Aside from the obvious of make it through the year and don't die of COVID. I think that's a natural thing that pretty much everybody would hope to have accomplished for next year. I mean, this year's been really goddamn lame and nothing has really been accomplished by, like, it's hard for anybody to do anything when we're stuck inside, not able to do anything. I guess my plan for next year is not really a whole lot different than it was this year. Just now that I'm in therapy, things will be a little bit easier to actually get a little bit of my emotional stress off my shoulders and hopefully handle everything. Still going to focus on trying to meet people. Going to explore my options where I can find more people. Like, I don't normally go to church, so I'm thinking about, like, looking at some church options around my area and going to, like, a church next year just to meet people and hopefully see if I can find enough people to meet and hopefully get introduced to somebody that I can and, like, start a relationship with to be the goal. I mean, more than just that, but I mean, that'd be one way. There's also gym stuff. I feel like the gym isn't a bad option because everybody who's going to the gym shares the same goal of body improvement, whether it be through losing weight or trying to get stronger or whatever. Everybody has their same goal. They want to make themselves better, and it's a little easier to connect on that angle, so definitely something I'm going to keep in mind. I don't know. Not be fat. Yeah, that must suck. I've never really dealt with any issues with, like, weight myself. I guess I have, like, a really good metabolism. I definitely don't eat healthy, though. I eat, like, a ton of junk food. I eat, like, let's see, lots of chocolate, lots of chips and stuff, and I've had plenty of dessert food, and I know I probably eat more than I should. That's, like, the only thing I can think of that even remotely balances out, like, my weight intake is the fact that I don't eat 3 meals a day like most people do. I only eat 2 meals. I only eat I only eat lunch and I only eat supper. I mean, I can eat, like, brunch or whatever, but I never really eat breakfast. I don't feel a need to, so it just never happens. That's always lunch and dinner, and I can do my whole month every year without worrying about having 3 meals, so yeah. Huh. I think I'm only, like, 160. That's the thing about fat. I mean, it depends on, like, fat's a very, very interesting thing to talk about. Like, obviously, I don't want to call anybody fat here. It's like, I think it's mostly, like, your body size and your, or, like, height. Excuse me, my throat's acting up really badly for some reason. Throat, I don't know why I'm having weird congestion issues right in the middle of talking, when normally it's because I have a dry throat. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think it's like a combination of, like, just like your size, your height, that kind of thing, all sorts of different factors. Like, for somebody who's tall and, like, 6 foot something, being up to, like, 200 pounds is actually not always, like, bad. It really depends on just how tall you are. Me personally, I think I'm about 5'11". I'm not certain about that because I haven't measured my weight in a long time. Not weight, excuse me. I've measured my weight fairly frequently when I get a chance to, but I don't do it very often. But I'm like 5'11" in terms of height, and I don't measure it very often, and I weigh around like 160, I think. I can tell you I'm definitely not fat because I look like I'm practically skin and bones, and whenever I try to put on weight, it doesn't ever work out. I think most of the times I've gotten on a scale and actually checked like how much weight I have, like I usually find that I end up losing weight rather than gaining weight. Honestly, I kind of worry if I'm like too skinny at some points because I don't know why. I genuinely struggle to gain weight. I've tried. I can't put on like 5 pounds maybe to save my life, and it's like I'm not wanting to get fat. I just want to like make sure I'm not like starving myself and not skinny. It's like I think my reaction to how my weight is kind of natural considering how skinny I am all the time. I don't know. Have belly fat? You have no idea how much you weigh? Yeah, I don't make a habit of it. I don't have a like scale to measure myself in my apartment, and I haven't bought one. It's like I get a chance to every now and then. It's like I don't feel like I want to stress myself with like thinking about it too much. So I don't ever end up like bothering to go and measure my weight. So it's like whenever I get a chance, I'll measure it out. But if I don't have one, it's not really a matter to me. It doesn't really make a big deal. It's just like whatever. Not something that's gonna bother me. I'm better at soccer. I honestly wouldn't mind going back to playing some sports myself. I used to do it a lot more when I was younger. I kind of stopped playing sports though. I think it's just because, well, it's not always easy to get it together and do sports, but also like I wasn't the best at it. It was fun, though. I did enjoy playing soccer some when I was younger, even though I played only like a few times. And also, I think I played baseball when I got a chance in school, and that was enjoyable, but there's not really any great opportunities to just play baseball, even like messing around like as an adult. You get a lot more chances like that when you're younger. Basketball is not that big of a deal. I like to play basketball a little bit because it's like, well, I can just go and practice shooting hoops. I mean, biggest problem is I don't have a place to do it at my apartment, but you can find places to do that. I don't care if I play against another person. I actually like playing basketball, like just dribbling and like practicing shots. It's pretty fun, honestly. I do kind of miss that about school a little bit. That's one of the few things I enjoyed was, and I didn't enjoy PE like a whole lot. It was an alright class, and trying to do like certain bits of like sports is somewhat fun. Trying to do like dodgeball was pretty fun too, even though I don't think I'd call that a sport. Bad at soccer. Yeah, I know what you mean. I had played not a whole lot. I played like when I was younger a little bit, and I didn't get very great. I think I'd stopped playing because I remember like when I played, I'm the type who gets pretty competitive when I'm playing, and I do remember like I would try to do my best to like save the goals or like make goals and like score as much as I could. And like I remember a few times where I ended up like going down trying to like stop the ball, and like I think I scraped my knees or something. Like I definitely wasn't the most careful, and I probably hurt myself a little bit playing it. It's like, yeah, that's my problem, is I tend to be unintentionally reckless. I'm also a bit of a clumsy person, so yeah, I'm not great about dealing with that kind of problem. Ugh, speaking of which, I fucking hate how clumsy I am. I just have a lot of problems with that, like, at least when I was like working at Kroger, I've got to say, like, every day, I would it ended up like finding that I was like injuring myself on a daily basis, not even intentionally. Like I would do something where I'd accidentally hurt myself, whether it be like a cut or if I hit my hand on something or like what. Like I think one point I like really hurt my, like I remember I got my thumb on something and like caused it to start bleeding or something along those lines once at work, and it was fucking really awful and really painful. Not a fun experience, to say the least. I don't know why I'm like this. I fucking hate how naturally clumsy I am. Oh, man. I mean, is there something else I want to talk about, but we can wait a little bit before I discuss it? Normally the goalkeeper. Well, that's good. I mean, if you have something you're pretty good at and that you enjoy, I don't feel like I have any major talent, but I mean, we can talk about that in a little bit like I wanted to. I was going to talk about some other stuff first. So, what are you guys expecting or wanting for Christmas this year out of curiosity? Just wondering, because I haven't really thought about it much myself. I even want anything. I don't care too much. I mean, getting money's what I would prefer right now because I need it and I want to get another phone badly. It's always fun to talk about, like, Christmas time and talk about, like, presents or talk about just, like, Christmas experiences. I enjoyed doing that. Also, as, like, in the years have gone by, I've noticed I've stopped caring about, like, getting gifts as much at Christmas time. It really has become a time where I try to enjoy it, and it's good to be around family usually, although right now I'm not really wanting to. It's the way my parents have been acting, and I mean, it's kind of hard to get around and be around family while there's fucking COVID problems, so yeah, not exactly super stoked about the idea of going to see them right now with Ratchet and Clank. Spider-Man. It's not... Yeah, that sounds pretty nice, actually. A new console at like Christmas time is usually a lot of fun to mess around with. They usually launch around Christmas, so you can be one of the ones to own the big new consoles while they're still fairly new, even though, like, there's something special about picking one up, like, right at launch time and getting to check out all the stuff that's around. It's certainly a fun experience. I remember when I was younger, I got, like, a DS for Christmas once, and I loved that. That was really fun to, like, sit down and play, and I had, like, getting, and, like, Mario 64 DS. That was a fun time. I played that, like, practically all of Christmas Day, I think. It was very, very great. A very, very good Christmas. Hang on a second. I don't probably did anything with the Discord. I was meaning to get a link for Discord already. I think I got this. Let me see. I'm going to have to go back and get that link again, though, just to make sure. Okay, I think we're good. 1 second before I continue my talking. Don't really care about the PS5. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with not getting any new stuff anytime soon. Like, I don't blame me about not wanting one right away. Personally, I do feel like I'd pick one up, but not at this point, and especially I'd rather wait until the price has dropped. I feel like it's really, really costly right now, and it's like, I'm not sure if I want to pick it up while it costs an arm and a leg to buy a PS5, so yeah, I'd rather wait until it price drops. Certainly not interested in getting it right now, at least. If it drops to 400 or 300, I would buy it. I remember the PS3 back in the day, like, sold really poorly because people didn't want to pay the ridiculous price that Sony put on it at launch. I think it was like at least 500, if not more, when they did it back then. I feel like I'm surprised that we haven't seen the same backlash around the PS5. I'm guessing that the reason for that is because they haven't really stocked it very much, and it's intentionally understocked, so it's kind of hard for people to make the complaint the price is too fucking high when you can't even buy it to begin with right now. Oh, man. So, let's see. Out of curiosity, like, what's everyone's, like, dream console? I just wanted to ask this. Curious to hear what everybody would think. Like, what would you want out of your perfect console? Frankly, I think the Switch has already come, like, really close to what I would want for, like, a dream console. Something that I feel like would be perfect for my needs. Obviously, like, I think maybe a more powerful Switch that's more on par with, like, current-gen consoles and gets more third-party exclusives would be better than what we've currently got, because don't get the most third-party support to begin with, so yeah, that's one area they could definitely improve the Switch in. If I had to, like, say all the improvements, like, I think that maybe better virtual console support, or like better stuff for, like, yeah, let's see. Well, there's that. There's, like, better just like retro support for games in general would be fantastic. Also, getting like modding support would be fucking awesome. Those kind of things. Switch or Series X. That's interesting. Switch is already like really close. I think like the idea of a hybrid console comes like really close to like perfect console territory. I mean, I guess it depends on exactly who you're asking, but I think most people would say, yeah, the Switch is really good in that regard, considering just how easy it is to use and how you can take it anywhere with you can play console games on a portable for the first time. Too bad there's still the major problem that we have to deal with Joy-Con drift. Out of all the things they did right, they can't make a fucking controller that functions well enough. That's something that needs to be fixed. Like, seriously. Yeah, I don't blame you. Switch is very much a good console for that. I mean, the one reason I can think of if I wouldn't keep the Switch over another console is the fact that if I wasn't going to be allowed to have something that had like a power source, I wouldn't want to bring the Switch because I wouldn't want to play it and then get stuck with fucking Joy-Con drift. It's something that bothers me. Feels like Nintendo's still taking non-answers to actually fixing the problem, and it's like, just fucking fix Joy-Con drift already. You have a huge consumer base, all these people buying your console, and instead of like fixing it, you're making excuses for why you're not fixing it. It's like, seriously, what the fuck are you doing right now, Nintendo? Just fix the problem and get it over with. It's like, I know you guys could stare and ignore it and make plenty of money, but you'll get more good PR if you actually just stop being lazy and assholes and actually fix the hardware defect that's affecting like 90% of the Switch install base. It's like, ignoring this problem does absolutely nothing but keep circulating negative PR for them. I don't know. Nose is right. Oh, God, that was awful. I didn't want to mute because I didn't have a quick access to mute it. I'm sorry. That was nasty. I hate that I had these like problems with sneezing and coughing that it's not really feasible to go and mute the mic easy. I need to set up a mute button on my like bindings or something, I think. That way I can stop this from happening. Ugh, it's always annoying. Ugh, excuse me. I think I'm good now. Alright, let's see. Right, I'm gonna go back to the Christmas discussion for a little bit. So, here's something. I've mentioned this on stream, but I didn't get really a lot of chance to, like, bring this up on a lot of people are here. If anybody, like, even wants to talk about this, like... So what do you guys do anything for, like, special tradition every Christmas? Just, like, stuff you do every Christmas? Is there anything you do in particular? I know for, like, our Christmas times, there were at least a few things they do. I don't know if they're, like, super special. We'd get to open, like, one Christmas present, like, on Christmas Eve. Just, like, the night before, we'd get to pick something out, and usually our parents would hide, like, the presents were actually after, so we wouldn't be able to find the ones we wanted to get, so that was kind of lame, but I mean, getting to open something was kind of cool. Also, on top of that, we don't, like, I know stocking stuffing's like a very common thing, but our parents would like stuff like extra gifts and like, usually like candy, and on top of that, like, certain other presents inside the stocking, so there's that. We'd open that and find all our stuff in our stocking, and as well as our like other stuff we've opened. Let's see. Family opened presents on Christmas Eve. Huh. That's a surprising one, a little bit different one. I mean, not really that big of a deal. I guess it depends on who you ask whether or not you open your presents on Christmas Eve. I think most people do their presents Christmas Day rather than Christmas Eve, but nothing wrong with it. That's an Xmas special and open presents. Yeah, I think that's a pretty common thing too, and I think well, I mean, it's not really special at this point, but like, also, on top of this, like, most kids usually leave out the cookies and milk thing for Santa every Christmas Eve, so there's also that. Also, it's pretty much unspoken tradition, at least in America, to like go out and then like spend your money like the next day that you get from Christmas to go buy like stuff, just using all that extra you get. I mean, I usually wait until like the 27th because usually everything dies down more. There's usually a lot of people that are out on the 26th that are all spending their money on the same day, so not really the best idea to go and do that. You know, one thing I don't really completely get, and it's not really a big deal, but like, I never really understood like why people swap presents on like Christmas Day or like the day after. It's like not just like swap them, but like they take their unopened presents and swap them. Some people take like the things they get that they don't like and swap them. That's more normal in my opinion, but like I don't understand why you would swap presents when it's like stuff you actually asked for, and it's like why would you want to give away something that you specifically wanted for something else? I mean, it's not really a big deal, but it seems kind of counterintuitive. Why wouldn't you just go for what most people do and swap the presents that you've already opened for stuff that you both have interest in? I don't see how that makes any sense, and I know that's a tradition every now and then. Never swap a wrap present? Yeah, I don't think many people do it, but I know some people do, and it's like, I don't know why people do that. Not really a big deal, just I find it kind of odd, to be honest. Very, very odd thing, frankly. Not really a big deal. Let's see. Anyone you intend to buy a PS1 The Lion King thing, Simba's Mighty Adventure game? Cool. I don't really buy retro consoles very much like nowadays. I think most of my stuff, I'm going to play anything like older, it's usually going to be through me getting a plug and play, or I'm going to end up playing it on an emulator. I mean, I don't mind buying older stuff, but I only have so much storage space, and on top of that, it's kind of a hassle to end up spending too much. If I ended up buying every little thing I had interest in, I'd probably end up not having a lot of money to work with, so natural that I save my money and don't. I mean, I try to spend money on stuff that I actually want, but it's not always the kind of thing I can do, so yeah. So all the Lion King games. Oh, that's on my tongue. God, fucking nasty ass problem where you get fucking hair on your tongue. I hate when that happens. I think it's gone now. But yeah. Ugh. I think that's over with. I don't really care much for licensed games. I mean, I hope you enjoy it. If I had to play, like, all the games from a series, I'd probably play games from, like, namely stuff that's game series rather than go for something that's licensed based like The Lion King, but I've never played that, like, those games. I mean, more power to you. I've never really had, like, enough to, like, I never looked it up or checked how good those games are. Problem with licensed games is it's like a giant mixed bag. You have to look at what you're buying like really carefully, and some of them are kind of crappy, and there are others that are really good, but I think the majority of licensed games usually just kind of suck ass, and it's like, yeah, I don't care how much I love a series, I don't want to pick up a crappy game and then throw away like 5 to 10 hours possibly of my time on it. I mean, I'm not the type of person who'd do that in the first place, so I'd probably end up just playing like an hour or two, and if I ended up hating it, I'd just fucking say never mind and not play it anymore, so there's that. Ugh. Also, I don't buy those kind of things usually because it's like, if you buy games, at least in my area, it's not easy to take them back or anything, and especially if you buy them online, like, they'll be very certain you're spending your money wisely if you don't want to be stuck with something you don't regret buying, so yeah. Ugh. Anyway, shit. Okay, well, I was going to talk about some other stuff, but I can talk about it later in a second anyway. Gotta go, be back later. Alright, I'm going to be, like I said earlier, I'm going to be online for not the longest time today, actually, so I don't know if I'll still be online or not. I mean, I've been having internet issues, and as a result, I'm not sure if I'm going to want to spend much time on. My goal is to round up to about 155 encounters, so It's going to be me doing that rather than 200 because I don't know if my internet will stay stable like I hope it will. Also, since things have been so weird and unstable with my internet, I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I'm going to wait until Saturday, and then I think I'm supposed to have some technician check out my internet on Monday, so I'll probably look into maybe streaming on Monday and trying to keep things spaced out a little bit until it gets checked up on. I don't know, things are kind of weird right now. I'd like to get this over with, but I can't really guarantee that I can do that. I'll be here for a while, though. I mean, it might be another hour. I don't know how long it'll take to get my counter up to 2100. Hope you can come back, but if not, I understand. Later, sees. So this is going to mention something when I was talking about it. Like, here's another fun talking point. Something that I wasn't particularly keen on talking about, but I feel like I might as well bring up something that's gross and I hate talking about, but I feel like is worth bringing up. Like, it's about body hair. We can get into that discussion in just a moment, and I'll be honest, this is a very unfun topic to talk about. Hold on a second, I'm going to make sure I've got my link ready to go on the Discord right now, just in case. There we go, I think it's set up. Also, I'm going to check on one tiny little thing, don't mind me. Just one thing. Okay, we're good. Just making sure we're ready. Alright, let's continue. But yeah, I gotta say I hate body hair in general. I mean, I'm not upset about facial hair necessarily, except that it gets in really weird places. I guess it depends. Like, you see hair growing in abnormal spots, like on random spots on your skin, which is annoying to deal with. It's not really that big of a deal. I don't know about you guys. When it comes to, like, body hair problems, though, if I see, like, a hair that's, like, out of place and in a spot that's not normal, my first instinct is to actually either shave it away or, like, pluck it out with a pair of tweezers. I can't stand having, like, body hair in weird places, and I don't like how it looks. It's kind of creepy to me. I don't know, maybe not creepy is not the right word, just gross. Like, it's not something I enjoy. Also, I swear hair grows in the nastiest places on the human body. Like, it annoys me a lot. Like, not talking about, like, down under in the privates area like most people would talk about, like, for men or women or whatever. Like, yeah, that can be annoying. I don't know if I'd say it's gross in general, but having it on your testicles, since I haven't known else to say this otherwise, like, it's not a fun experience, and trying to get rid of it's not very easy, and it's also, like, uncomfortable a lot of times, so there's that. Ugh. I'm not going to go into that topic too much, because it's not something I really want to talk about very much. Also, I want to say, like, one of the worst ones, I don't know, it's hard to say. One thing I remember is, like, nipple hair grows on, like, people, and it's like, why? Ugh. It's like, it's annoying and kind of hard to get rid of, and it's like, I don't like dealing with this. It's very, very annoying. Trying to shave it off is irritating. The human body's, like, seems to be filled with this kind of stuff. Like, it's a problem, like, you have to very carefully check yourself where you've got, like, body hair. I know it's more acceptable in men to just leave it alone and not actually do anything about it, but there's certainly, like, some areas I don't like having body hair, and I find it really gross and really annoying. Also kind of disgusting, just like the way it's on my... the way it is, like, on me, I guess, or if that's the right way to word it. It's kind of hard to figure out how to say this right. Sorry. Like, I don't think it's growing in this spot, but, like, for instance, I've had, like, nasty stuff. Like, I found hair in my belly button, and it's not a fun thing to deal with. It's not... I think it's usually just hair that comes off from somewhere else and then finds its way in there by some gross method. If I'm not paying attention, it's like, ugh, get it out. I don't want that in there. It's nasty. Just no. The belly button in general is kind of something I don't love about the human body, too. Like, even though it's not bad, it's like, you get a lot of belly button lint in there, and it can get dirty really easy. It's not a fun time to clean it. Things can fall in there, not very often, but, like, still it can get nasty, and it's like, it's not fun to clean it out, and it can be a pain to do. kind of hurts if you're not careful doing it either. I think there's like a solution of like get rubbing alcohol and rub it in the inside of your belly button to clean it out, but it's still kind of gross, to be honest, and not really great feeling. So there's that. I don't love doing it to begin with. It doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel pleasant. It's just a nuisance to deal with, and frankly, yeah, I don't like it one bit. It's more annoying than anything. Absolutely hate dealing with it. It's a very, very annoying pain in the ass. It's a small complaint I wanted to make. Ugh. Body hair bothers me, though. I'm not sure where the worst place is for body hair to grow in, though. I know nose hair fucking sucks, though. I'll say that much. I don't know if anybody here knows much about it, 'cause, I mean, like, talking about it is not just a fun thing. It looks nasty, feels nasty, and on top of that, out of, like, all the body hair, I'll say openly, fucking trying to go through and, like, take out nose hair with a pair of tweezers. Oh, it sucks. It sucks so much to pull on it. And on top of it, it's really fucking tender and it stings like shit when it's pulled out. It is absolutely one of the worst feelings in the world. And it's a good idea to keep it plucked and keep it out. It's like you don't want people staring at your nose and like looking at you and thinking you're gross because you have hair coming out of your nose, and it's like not under my control. But I mean, I try my best to get rid of any noticeable nasty nose hairs and hear about solutions that are apparently painless, but I've never actually seen anything that supposedly works for getting rid of nose hair. It's kind of just annoying to put up with, honestly. Let's see, what else is there in terms of body hair that I don't like a lot? I would say probably dealing with, like... Well, I don't actually know if I think I've had to deal with it yet. I mean, there's some spots, like, see randomly on your head where you have, like, weird growing hairs that are really long or out of place, and I have to deal with that and pluck that out, and it's annoying. I mean, I guess I could cut it, but getting it with a pair of tweezers is usually easier, frankly. Also, on top of that... drip, and I'm going to have to deal with it. I don't think I've had to deal with it yet, but, like, apparently your ears grow hair, and it is gross. I don't know why that's a thing. It is absolutely nasty. Hold on a second. I'm going to check something. Anyway, let's see, where were we? Got a little distracted. So yeah, ear hair is like really gross and not a fun thing to deal with. It's honestly something I fucking hate the idea of. I don't think I've got any yet. It's still nasty though. It's like, yeah. See it on the side, but apparently, like, I think the big thing I'm thinking of is like seeing it in your ear. Not only does it look gross, it feels gross too. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of problems that come with the ear in general. Like, not only it's like really sensitive, but also like it's some really weird problems with your ear every now and then. Or at least I have. Like I don't know if you guys ever felt this. Like, you get a giant clump of like earwax in your ear, and it just suddenly falls in your ear, like, or you can feel it, and to try and get it out, it feels really, really nasty. It's not something I enjoy. Try to keep my ears clean by taking, like, a cotton swab and cleaning them every day. You have to be, like, really careful, but still. Or Q-tip, that's the right word, yeah, Q-tip. But yeah, cleaning them is not a fun thing. There's a lot of problems I could complain about the human body that I don't love. Like, things that I have to deal with that are just a pain in the ass, like slight problems I have. Another one that's like really, really lame is like various pains. I think it's just part of getting older, but still, like, when I'm lying down, usually I feel like I have leg problems fairly frequently. I don't love dealing with it either. Like, pain in general is awful. Sometimes it hurts a lot to bend over. I guess isn't the bad posture habits when I was younger or whatever. That sucks, doing that and then having my back feel really shit. But also, if I lie down and I'm not careful where my legs are, sometimes I'll feel my legs start cramping up and aching really bad, and it's this indescribable, awful, aching pain. And I don't know how to really get rid of it. I try, and it doesn't feel like it goes away. It is absolutely the worst feeling dealing with it. It sucks so much. Usually it's just like this nasty burning sensation that hurts like hell, and goddamn does it suck to deal with. I think most people probably deal with that to an extent. And then it's leg cramps. I think people call those like a Charlie horse or whatever. It's bad. It sucks. It's very, very lame. Also, I mentioned I have hand pains every now and then. Those suck too. Getting older, I feel like, has a lot of problems that come with it that are rather annoying. It's not a lot of fun to deal with as a result of that, so yeah, I've got to be honest. Not a great experience putting up with fucking all those kind of issues. It really sucks. Sometimes I wish I could just stop all the pain, but I mean, I don't want to throw away my life and give up on it, so it's like, yeah, I'll just have to keep trucking through all the shittiness. Anyway, give me a second, we'll switch topics and talk about something else for a little bit. Keep talking on whatever new subjects I can think of. Oh, give me a moment. 1 second, 1 second. Let's see. Did I finish talking about the computer virus? I'm gonna put that as a maybe, and I'm not sure if I finished talking about that, whatever. Let's see. Here's another topic that'll be fun to discuss for a little bit. I'm definitely have to mark this when I'm done, so I don't see anybody here to talk about it, and it's a good conversation piece to think about, but like, what's everyone's favorite season? I'm out of curiosity. I don't think I've ever really asked that question. Personally, I'm not sure what my favorite is. I think maybe fall time. I have problems with like most seasons, except maybe summer. I mean, sure, it's hot. It's not great. It's not a fun time, and it's being hot just sucks, to be honest. But yeah, I don't hate it. It's not the worst. I feel like I can deal with it. Also, fall, I don't feel like I have too many allergy problems or whatever. Sure, it can be annoying sometimes, but I feel like I see less of that than I do in spring. And I see it in winter sometimes, too. Allergies fucking suck, and in springtime, they run fucking totally rampant and fuck up everything for me. Make me feel like shit, make my whole day worse, and it's like, yeah, I don't like springtime as a result of that. Springtime is probably one of my least favorite seasons because of that alone. That's something I hate dealing with, is fucking allergy problems in spring. Also, I feel like my nose is bothering me, so great. Right when I mentioned allergies, I think my allergies might start to be acting up a little bit. If it ends up being bad, I'll take like a really quick, like, 2-minute BRB to go take pills and maybe use my nasal spray. Actually, I think I'm gonna go grab my nasal spray, or not even nasal spray, go grab my pills really quickly and take those, and maybe they'll have a bit of an impact on me. Sorry if I have to go silent for a minute, but I think I might actually need this. So I didn't mark this yet. There we go. We're good now. Ugh, hopefully that will help. Sorry if I had to go AFK for a minute. Wasn't talking any. I need that, and I mean, hopefully it'll work. Speaking of like that, since I talked about getting medicine, and I just got some, like, I gotta say, like, usually, like, A lot of people talk about how like medicine or whatever food it does like takes time to digest. I feel like for me, even though I might just be wrong about this, but like it feels like I can feel the impact of something like a food, or if I take a medicine, I can feel the impact of it like almost immediately. I don't know what's about that, but like if I take an allergy medicine and I have like allergy problems, usually that allergy medicine I feel like is fairly instantaneous, starts dealing with the problem like relatively quickly if it's working. So I don't know why people say that it never does. That's not what I've dealt with, in my opinion. Certainly when I take like my nasal spray, I can feel my nose clear up and not feel miserable as much. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be sure I'd be taking it, because it's like, yeah, I want it to be quick acting. I don't know, every time I eat food, I can feel like if I have like a stomach problem from it, it happens sooner rather than later. Also, that reminds me of something else I want to talk about, but we'll wait. I want to talk about this with other people for discussion purposes. It's a little bit of a kind of gross topic, but not super gross, just something I find that's something I want to talk about a bit more and hear differing opinions on. It's something that sucks, I'll put it that way, though. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. We're talking about different seasons, yeah, and what everyone's favorite season is. I personally don't like spring very much. I mean, the weather's nice and all, but having allergies, it makes it absolutely awful. Allergies are fucking awful, and without them, I feel like I'd be much happier in my life, but alas, I'm not that lucky. I have to deal with them, and they're painful. I got pollen allergies. I think I've got an allergic reaction to fucking gel deodorant, too, that I mentioned. That's not related to, like, seasons. It's another allergy I've got, and I think I might like that cedarwood allergy that people have, like some other things like that. Yeah, those are all less than great to put up with. Allergies are genuinely awful. Sucks for anybody who's got like dangerous allergies that are lethal. Or if you can't be around like cats or dogs, that must suck too. If you like animals and you have allergies, feel free. Not a fun thing to put up with. I mean, at least springtime is pretty, but yeah, without the allergy problems, I would like it a lot more. I hate the cold, though. Winter is my least favorite because of the cold. I like the snow. I mean, I find it pretty, but I never found it to be fun to deal with. Let's talk about the others before I go back to talking about winter a little bit. Summertime, I've never really minded too much. I guess I've worked in the summer a lot when I was younger, and I kind of got used to the heat. And I don't know why. I feel like I dressed carefully enough. I know you can't, you can only take off so much, and then there's nothing else to do about that. And like, obviously, you can't take out everything. It's like, yeah, summer causes that problem. Fucking getting way too goddamn hot, way too easy, and it's really hot. Some people get heat strokes, and it can be really goddamn bad. I think one of the things I don't hate about summer is like, not only is it time to relax usually, like usually there's a lot of benefits to summer, but it's like a good time to take it easy, but also on top of that, like, I don't know, I'm not that big of a, what's the right word I should be saying, not like that. I'm trying to figure out how I can put this into words. I don't know what the right way to say it is. I guess I don't mind summer, I don't mind the heat too much. I'm get like point where I can do different hobbies or do different things because of the summer that I'm fine with. I normally stay inside where it's cool enough anyway, and it's not really a big issue. Also, on top of that, like, I don't know, I don't mind it. It's just something about it. I don't feel like any of the stuff about summer bothers me too much. Whereas when I deal with winter time, it's a lot more obvious. We can talk about in a second. Fall is good. There's a lot of there's stuff that happens. It's pretty. You get to see like plants change color or leaves change color. I mean, to see like certain changes in nature, things that are growing or like changing their seasonal patterns. It's really neat. I mean, probably the most annoying part is there's leaves around, and obviously somebody has to do the raking, whatnot, put up stuff like that. But there's also a lot of festivities that go around in fall time. Honestly, a genuinely pretty good season every year. Winter is like, yeah, winter is the one where it's annoying for me because I feel like not only is it cold and I fucking hate the cold, It's awful. Every time I go out, I feel like I feel it when it's like wintertime. It's just like I can't escape my hate of the winter. It's just annoying me no matter where I go. Also, on top of that, like, well, how should I say this? Like, I feel like winter time, maybe I'm wrong. I feel like you can kind of feel the pain from like being cold. You feel your fingers get cold and feel them ache and sting. Also, the cold is really unpleasant, and the more you're out in the cold, it's like the sooner you want to get back inside where you can stay warm and escape it. And it feels like it's not too bad trying to get heat going on and trying to keep yourself warm. Whereas it's the heat of like the summer, I mean, sure, it's... Well, actually, I was going to say, that's one good thing about winter is like, yeah, you can get inside and stay warm. That's actually a point in favor of winter, my bad. Summer, like, it's harder to escape it, and you'll be hot even inside, usually, unless you have, like, a lot of good systems going to keep things cool down inside, so there's that. That's annoying. Winter, it's like, yeah, get inside, you have to make sure everything's warm. I mean, it feels good when you're inside, but yeah, there's a lot of problems that freeze your ass off and feel miserable, and usually you have to dress up more to make sure you don't get too cold. Also, on top of that, like, there's a lot of negative repercussions to winter, like, obviously driving on icy roads is fucking dangerous as all hell, and why schools will get like closed and there's ice, so gotta be careful about that. Also, I mentioned how you feel pain when you're out too long. It's like, can't be out for very long. I feel like it's very easy to feel like your fingers like get cold, or your legs or whatever, like, it feels awful. And on top of that, like, there's frostbite. I mean, I don't feel like I hear about that shit happening too often, but frostbite's legitimately scary. That, like, freezes up a part of your body. I don't think you can get rid of frostbite without actually cutting off, like, a part of your body after it happens. I think it's just, like, completely useless, and if you don't get rid of it, can, like, spread to the rest of you. It's like, yeah, that's something I don't want to deal with. It'd suck. I'm sure you can die from freezing to death too. Like, heat stroke's a problem in the summer, but yeah, I'd rather deal with heat stroke potential than fucking dealing with goddamn possibility of getting frozen to death or frostbite. I'm gonna check on what some stuff about this says really quick. Maybe it doesn't always. I wasn't sure, but that seems like it has. Looking at it, maybe it's just like long-term frostbite that causes that. That's a scary thought, though. Not a fun thing to think about. Obviously, if it's like colder, I'm thankfully the type of person who lives in an area where it's not too cold, even if it is cold. Still sucks dealing with it. It's not a very fun experience, to say the least. I mean, we don't see snow very often. I live in Texas, and where we are, there's not really a lot of snow very often, so there's that. Playing in the snow isn't terrible, at least it wasn't when I was a kid. I wouldn't do it now, but, like, go out and do stuff. You could, like, make a snowman, you can throw snowballs, you can make a snow angel, that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool, and kids like doing that, and it is fun when you're younger, especially when you're younger. That's something I enjoy, so yeah, that was something that was enjoyable about the winter time. Obviously, being out in the snow too long can get really cold, though, and I don't want to mess around in it for so long. And imagine what it's like for the kids who've never got to experience snow, though. It must suck not being able to ever see it, not seeing it in your area, and not getting to know what it looks like because of where you live at. I think, like, Florida or, like, California, the chances of it snowing are very, very low. Probably some in the other countries, too. Like, I don't know how many places in America don't really snow very often. I think Hawaii might be another one, but yeah. I don't really love wintertime, though. I mean, there's some good that comes out of it. Like I said, Thanksgiving and Christmas, those are both good, but outside of that, I don't really feel like I love the winner. It could be better, frankly, in my opinion. I think I finished talking about that, because I don't think there's anything else I wanted to talk about. I mean, people want to discuss that when more people around. We're more than welcome to talk about the seasons a little more. Let's see now. What else is there that's good? Give me a moment or two. I guess I can bring this up out of like me talking about some stuff earlier, just like related to internet stuff. You guys have internet problems very often, or at all? Like, you guys use like slow internet or your internet fast? Curious to hear about different people here who watch a stream. Like, how are your experiences with your internet? Do you guys have faster internet, slower internet? I mean, if you're streaming, you've got to have relatively fast internet. Mine's not the fastest, but it is fast enough that I can stream when it wants to work and not break down on me completely. So there's that. I can use it and do things, not too much issue. It's always annoying when you're watching something and you have like buffering issues. It sucks, and I'm trying to watch a stream and I'm having that kind of problem. What else is there? Like, that's one problem. There's also, like, it just goes down randomly. That's always irritating, or if it's like really slow. If you're used to fast internet, that is. What else am I thinking? Oh yeah, like certain websites you can't access. I mean, sometimes it's a good thing. Obviously, like, I mentioned viruses earlier. You gotta be careful, like, dealing with viruses. I don't know if I finished talking about that earlier. A lot of scary viruses out there that can infect your computers. They're like, slow your computer down and make it unusable. They can take away power from your computer. Or there's viruses that just install a bunch of garbage on your computer and try to make it more worthless, like those little adware things or whatever. The ransomware viruses are fucking awful. I hate them. I don't know why people make them. I guess it's usually people intentionally trying to exploit others and cause problems, so there's that. Not a lot of fun to put up with and deal with, so yeah, viruses are genuinely shit. They are not a fun thing to deal with. Fucking hate dealing with viruses. I've certainly had enough problems with that. Probably for me, I think when I was younger, I probably dealt with like using my computer on some shadier sites and was not the smartest about it. Hold on a second. I think I'm good talking about that. Give me a second or two. I might checking this so soon. Whatever, I guess it doesn't matter. I just wanted to look at it, make sure I hadn't missed a shiny. I didn't think we did, but I mean, I wanted to double check and make certain. Still going until we get the 2100. I made that promise and I'm going to fulfill it, so even if it takes me until the next hour, or if it takes me only 30 minutes, I'm going to make sure we reach it. How do you guys feel about tier lists, out of curiosity? If you guys don't have anything to say on it, feel free to not say anything. I'm just curious. Personally, I'm not big on tier lists. I don't know. I don't mind watching videos of them. It's interesting to see how people talk about stuff in them and what they rank them. Personally, I don't really feel like I gain a lot from it. I've thought of doing a stream of some of that stuff. I don't know if I would ever want to, personally. I mean, there's some fun ideas. I watched people, earlier season, doing a tier list thing where they were ranking, like, ice cream flavors, and they ranked, like, snacks and stuff. That's something I wouldn't mind doing. A lot of stuff that would be fun. Do some research and look up some stuff I've tried. I can definitely rank and then put, oh, I didn't on another part if I had to, whatever. Also ranking, like, fast food places. That'd be pretty good. I don't know if that'd be a stream that'd be worth doing or not, though. Tier lists are kind of odd area. They're around the same area as, like, top 10 videos, I feel like. They're alright, though. They can be pretty fun to mess around with and goof around with and just have a good conversation for a while and chat about whatever, so yeah. I don't feel like I care about tier list as a topic and something to do that much, though. I feel like they're kind of just low effort for that. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it. Not really a big deal. Oh man, let me see. Sorry if I'm running through my topics a little bit quicker, and there's like not as much interesting stuff to talk about as I would expect, or interesting things for you guys to listen to. I'm not intending it to be that way. Just I'm not prepared like a bunch of stuff to talk about. I'm gonna have to make sure my next few streams I have like several things brought up and ready to talk about. Whoops, I have the wrong thing entirely. Give me a second. I'm trying to check here. Here's something that's going to be a bit of a depressing topic, and I'm sure this will be something that'll be better to talk about a little bit later. I'm going to talk about it a little bit now. Death. I think nobody likes talking about it. Death is always a scary thing to talk about. It bothers me just how little time we have on the planet. Feels like we should have like more. We're only guaranteed like about 100 years or whatever, and that's not even a guarantee. That's like what you see on a lot of people is like, yeah, they lived to 100. We could only live like 70 or 80 or whatever. It's scary how short life is. Feel like it lasts a long time, but really it can be over in the blink of an eye. It's not something I love thinking about. I'm really, really grateful that I haven't lost anybody close to me. If you guys can relate to that, or if you guys had some negative experiences, I have like all my grandparents that I think alive still, and I deeply care about them, and I know when I lose them, I'm going to be in awful shape and feeling miserable. I can't even imagine how I'm going to feel when that day happens. I don't want to think about that too much. It hurts, the idea of losing all your loved ones you care about. I mean, partially why you want to have like family and try to raise your own family eventually, and like make sure things go well for you, which I can talk about that in a little bit too, actually. I don't know, death is very scary. It's the unknown. Don't know how we'll die, don't know how long we'll live. Everybody on the earth, one thing we share in common is like we're all pretty much going to die at some point. I don't think there's anybody on the planet who's immortal. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't think so, though. I'm pretty sure we're all just human. We're all bound to die someday. This is a very tough topic to like talk about. I don't know if anybody's listening in the first place, but like, what would you guys, or if you had to die, like would you prefer like be your ideal death rather than having to do something really, really lame? Like, would you want to die in your sleep? Would it be, let's see, what is another simple one? Die of old age? Obviously, dying in like a more painful way would be really lame. I hear people saying that dying from like fire isn't the absolute worst because you feel like you have like all your, what's the right word? Like your pain sensors or whatever, like your neurons that are detecting pain end up getting burned out if you're like feeling 3rd-degree burns, even if it would be kind of slow at first. Like eventually you'd stop feeling the pain and it wouldn't be terrible. That would probably be something that wouldn't be the worst way to go out, even if it would suck for at least the first bit, but that'd probably be a not so great way to go down, though. Drowning, I can imagine, would be fucking awful. Just the fucking sensation of fucking going out and like drowning, and you feel conscious every moment of your drowning, and it'd sit there probably trying to fight back against it, trying to get it out, feeling helpless and feeling miserable. I can imagine that would be a very, very awful way to go. I wouldn't want that for anybody, and I wouldn't want to see anybody die in the first place, but it's like drowning. Oh god, that would be a fucking awful way. There's a lot of gruesome ways, and I won't bring up too much. That should have like, I can imagine like quite a few deaths would be really awful. Like getting cut by a knife would probably not be very fun. If it like got your throat cut or something, like, oh, I couldn't imagine sitting there dying slowly, feeling that kind of pain from getting cut there, and sitting there or waiting for it to be over, this like long, miserable pain, that'd probably be one of the worst ways to go out, frankly. Would probably suck really badly. I wonder how much painful it is, like, dying from a gunshot. I wouldn't want to find out for any death, like, anytime soon. I don't want to die, period. I don't want to die anytime soon, but, like, that's one that'd probably be less awful, just because of the fact that, you know, you're getting shot. It may take, like, a little bit, but it'd be over very quickly, and you wouldn't really register more than, like, a moment of pain, probably, and then you're dead. Death is still scary, though, because you don't know it lies beyond. Like, obviously, there's religion, and we all have, like, different ideas of what's going on. We believe in religion, like, well, we share that same thing. There's no certainty of what lies beyond for us. It's a scary thought to think about. Also, another lame one, dying from falling from, like, a height. That would probably be a very, very, I'd imagine that'd be a painful way to go. I don't know how bad that'd be, but I feel like falling and then dying from, like, a height would probably suck really bad. Sure, it might be over quick, but it's like, I wouldn't want to experience how bad it would be fucking dropping from a really high point and then fucking dying. I can imagine the pain from, like, the one instance where you're dead would be inexplicably bad and, like, absolutely something that would hurt like hell before you were dead. That'd be probably one of the worst ways to go out, and I think I would be very happy not having to experience that. So yeah, I would rather not than find out how that feels. I'm sure it's not a pleasant feeling. Ugh. Death in general is a very hard thing to talk about. Honestly, it's scary as hell too. Like I said, there's no certainty. Do we know there's anything out there? No, we don't have any way to know. We don't know if there's, like, heaven. We can believe in it. If hell's there either, I mean, it's in the Bible. I want to believe that it's real and that, yeah, I can go to heaven. It's also like, what if there's nothing? I mean, does our life just end? Do we not have any consciousness anymore? It's like the existential dread is scary as fuck. Not knowing what happens next. I don't think anybody wants to experience death. It's a very, very scary thing. Ugh. Not sure if there's any more I wanted to add on to that or not. I mean, obviously death is a scary thing to think about. It's very, very much something I would like to avoid at any point. Reminds me of those horror movies. People die in really awful ways. I hope I never have to see or feel anything like that. That'd be scary. Ugh. I could say the one way that'd be the worst way to go out would be getting fucking murdered, but that's something I don't want to really talk about. Something that'd be terrifying. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to experience that, but I'm not going to talk about that on the stream any. At least not right now. I can imagine the sheer terror being put in a spot like that. Kind of fucking psychopaths. Anyway, let's move along and not talk about that any. Let's just go to another topic for right now. Let's see. Here's another thing, just for, like, talking about, like, different, I guess, like, content creators or different, like, people on the internet who really do stuff. What's the best merchandise for, be like, a content creator or a series? Hold on a second, my foot's aching really bad. I need to move. I think I am almost okay. Had another foot pain. Like I said earlier, I hate fucking dealing with this. If I end up taking an AFK where I just, like, suddenly mute my mic and put up the BRB, it's because I probably have to deal with something like a pain where my foot started cramping up really fucking badly, and obviously dealing with that is not fun, so yeah, I'd probably mute my mic because I would be liable to scream in the mic if I didn't from sheer pain. Ugh. Fucking hate that. You have, like, a pain that's so bad all of a sudden it just makes you want to scream. And not just, like, leg pain like I'm dealing with to an extent right now, but, like, in general. Like when you get up in the morning out of, like bed and then you're trying to do something and you find you fucking stub your toe or whatever. That is, like, one of the worst fucking pains, and good lord does it fucking suck. Would not want to feel that. That's something that hurts like hell. Also, like closing a door on like your hand or your finger or whatever is not fun either. That kind of thing sucks. Or just like anything like biting your tongue, that thing's lame too. That's something that I don't enjoy. Had that happen a few times. Ooh, just thinking about that. I've had some points where I've accidentally bit my tongue really hard, and God, does that fucking hurt like hell when that happens. It's not a pleasant experience. Fucking hate dealing with it. Ugh. Ooh, fuck. Okay, where were we? Talking about quite a few things, and I got distracted. Oh yeah, merchandising. I personally enjoy getting merch when it's like a series, at least, like something I personally support. I enjoy that. I don't think I bought any merch to support a content creator. I don't know, I don't think I've ever had the urge to go out and get merch from like any content creator. There's some pretty cool stuff out there though, like Jacksepticeye did that thing where he got that coffee made for him, that thing based on his catchphrase where he always says top of the morning, and so he got a coffee that's like top of the morning coffee or something. That's actually a pretty clever idea for merchandise, and frankly, props to him for coming up with something creative like that. That's a really, really smart one. Most people do like just like doing like a shirt, maybe a plush or whatever, something like that. That's pretty simple. I don't know if there's any like good shirts I can think of that I bought for like merchandise that are really great. I think most of them are just like from certain video game series or whatever, if I do end up buying them. I think, let's see, what have I got all that's good that I can think of? I bought like a thing for like Splatoon back in the day. I got that. You know, that was like 5 years ago or what. That's not really that long ago, but yeah, you get what I was talking about. I tried to get some of that like Uniqlo stuff from Nintendo, and I missed the deadline, so I didn't get any of that. I've got like at least one Mario shirt, I think. I'm not certain. Maybe I don't have it anymore. I remembered I'd ordered something back when Club Nintendo was a thing and ended up getting it in the wrong size. I don't know if I got it the right size at any point. You know, I kind of miss Club Nintendo. They were a good source for this kind of stuff with like merchandise or whatever, or like little rewards you could get for like registering your games, whatever. Nintendo's reward system now is very much lame and not that great. I don't know, when I look at my Nintendo, I don't find that I'm loving what I see out of their offerings. Frankly, like the last stuff they put up, like the Pikmin coasters or whatever, and like those stickers, it's like, that's not very good rewards, even if they are physical. I don't know, I don't agree that that's a great thing. They've gotten better, though. They put up some decent physical stuff. And there's some stuff for Mario Kart, or like home circuit, and they put up some decent rewards. Those sounded like they were pretty decent, so there's that. I think they did some for Animal Crossing that looked good, and I think there were some others before that. Like they had that bandana, like a Nook keychain, some other stuff like that. I think those are okay. Those are some decent ones. Those are pretty good. I liked that stuff, and I've got to say that's actually good merchandise. I don't feel like I see that kind of quality merchandise very often from companies. I like when companies do like fairly good stuff and produce like high quality merchandise, though. Like Mario Kart had some good stuff in the Club Nintendo days, especially. And they did that thing where they had like I think it was in Europe, maybe it was in America. They had like a thing where they did like a whole bunch of different things with like little trophies from Mario Kart. They made like real life versions of them that you could order, and they were only up for like a day before they sold out. I think that was something that was pretty neat. That was something I missed out on, and I didn't get to grab, unfortunately. I've also missed out on a lot of their yearly rewards, unfortunately. Didn't get to get all the cool stuff. I remember like some good figures and whatever. They've had some fun ones that I missed out on. I got some of their stuff like their Hanafuda cards. Those are kind of neat. Those are pretty good little reward to get. I liked that. That was a good year from what I remember from their stuff before they started turning over to like digital stuff, and they were discontinuing it, which is heartbreaking when they did. But I mean, I know why they were doing it. They were probably unsure if they could keep Club Nintendo running, so they decided to stop it, and I don't blame them, but I miss it dearly. There was some good stuff there. Like, you were actually getting a decent selection of prizes you could pick from, rather than just getting whatever, whether it be like those Mario and Luigi pouches to a handbag to whatever. There were some very good offerings there. Stuff I genuinely enjoyed. I was mentioning like some stuff I got like that year. I think I signed Hanafuda cards, Majora's Mask, disc soundtrack thing. There was something else, but I couldn't remember what it was that was good. I remember like a whole bunch of different prizes they offered, and I went for the Hanafuda cards. I figured they might be more collectible in the long run rather than a soundtrack CD, even though it was a tempting offer trying to decide between which one. Also, there they made like pouch things like Mario and Luigi caps. Those were pretty good. I don't remember what all. They had like a lot of good stuff though. There was a lot of things they did that were very high quality, and I wish I had been able to get that I hadn't. Club Nintendo was pretty cool actually back in the day, and I miss it. And some good rewards getting like whatever games they put up. They had like virtual console stuff you could redeem with your points, I think. Now their whole My Nintendo thing is just not very good in my opinion. I mean, you can get discounts, and also on top of that you can get the whole thing with like gold coins, but they expire quickly and you don't get a whole lot for your game purchases. And if you want to get a freebie game off of it, then yeah, you're not really gonna get a lot of good luck with that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't love the way they've handled My Nintendo, frankly. I feel like most of my uses for My Nintendo have been through trying to like get like a slight discount on and like taxes and paying for like minimum stuff, maybe taking a few dollars off my like game purchase when I'm buying them. Mostly just like I use it on the tax money that I wouldn't be able to cover otherwise. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't happen to be super fond of My Nintendo. Also, the expiring points thing, that's another thing that's really lame. I feel like it wasn't as easy to run into expiring points on Club Nintendo, whereas it definitely is on My Nintendo, and that's something I hate. But, whatever. Okay, where are we at time-wise? It looks like we've got roughly 25 more encounters, and then I'm done. Just wondering, checking in on it. I wonder what the other, like, reward systems are for, like, other consoles. If any of them did that kind of stuff. Are there any other, like, games or services or whatever that did that? I don't know if Microsoft and Sony did. I know that, I guess the closest to get on Microsoft is, like, their Xbox Game Pass or whatever. That's a pretty decent-looking service. I don't know if I'd call that a reward membership service or whatever you're trying to talk about. You know what I mean, though. See, merchandise that I haven't mentioned. There's something else I want to talk about. Like, plushes are kind of cool, and also figures. Why Amiibo were so popular. Remember, like, there was, like, some Luigi's Mansion thing they did on Club Nintendo as well. It was like a figure, and I didn't get that either. I think that was, like, a thing that was on Europe. Maybe it was on America, and I'm not sure if I remember. They had, like, that, and you could get it for a short amount of time before it sold out. That was pretty cool, and unfortunately I missed my chance to nab that, and I wish I hadn't because it looked cool. A lot of good rewards though, a lot of great things. Also the exclusive games are great. Doc Lewis's Punch Out, and also I've never played it, but that Grill Off Ultra Hand thing looks like a silly and fun waste of time to play. Wish I had tried it at least. Oh well. Alright, give me a second or two while I look through whatever other things I want to bring up. So I want to try and find another topic or two we can bring up. Throat's acting up a little bit, sorry. I think I've mentioned this before, but I mean, it's like, it's a topic I think I can talk about. little bit more and easier, hopefully. How do you guys feel about the future? I think things are looking up. I mean, not perfect. Things are looking like they might be not too bad. But do you think we're going to see anything like on sci-fi, like flying cars? I think we might be far ways off from that. Also, I think we might eventually see robots. I don't know if it'll be anytime soon. I know automation's been something that the industry, like job industry's been pursuing. I don't know if that's a good thing, because it could run people out of jobs. But I mean, robots are kind of a neat thing to talk about, since they're like done by military. Like seeing how they program like combat robots or things that are supposed to be somewhat useful. I'd say drones even kind of fit into that category, maybe to an extent. How you can fly them around and make sure that they deliver stuff. I never had a drone. I mean, I'd like to maybe buy one at some point. They seem like a fun thing to goof around with and use it for, like, toying around with, or maybe using it for something important if you want to. You could fly it around, put a camera on it or whatever. Drones are kind of fascinating. I find those to be really, really neat. I know, like, back in, like, a lot of like, shows and, like, media, like, there's, like, a thing about, like, the future. We would, like, predict that we'd be having robots, like, all around, and they'd be, like, bringing stuff around with, like, packages. They'd be working certain jobs. They'd do, like, servantry stuff for us. I imagine that's something that might still happen, even if it'd be a long time from now. Wonder how common that would be, like, as a thing. I mean, I guess we kind of have that to an extent. We've got accessories that do stuff for us. I mean, not huge amounts of that kind of stuff. I know we got the Roomba for cleaning up and vacuuming some, though, even though it's not a proper idea of what I would think for a robot, though. I think a robot, I think something more like moves around, like something that ends up like doing stuff like it and walk around as like a metallic body, obviously, that kind of thing. Also, I can imagine robots for like all sorts of things. There'd be for practicing at certain stuff like sports, or one that does like general tasks like cooking, cleaning, that kind of thing. I don't think it'd be a good idea to give AI, to give them like super smart AI that could let them cause problems for us, though. But certainly neat to look at it and think about how that could work out. Might be more convenient. Wonder if we'll actually end up seeing that kind of stuff in the future. I don't know if I'd want to, though. It's neat to see like people build like mechanical stuff, whether it be robots or not. Like, seems like you make like a robot arm that like it interacts with stuff like, say, cereal or pour stuff out of a cup, something like that. You see one that can like work with like throwing tennis balls, or like one that like swings them stuff for like practice stuff. Obviously, there's the mention of like the stuff I mentioned for like military training, like the dog robot, and I think they have like some other one that walks around like people do. I'm not really sure about that too much. Robots are an interesting topic to talk about. Very interesting. Makes you wonder what they would be like if we eventually get them. Like if they'll be intelligent enough for speech. I'm sure they made some AI thing. I don't know if it's like an actual real like AI, but like something. It's got like it's a head or whatever, and it's like, I think it's a body, but it's like it brought over like things to like speak, and you see all these wires attached to it, and it responds to questions, and like seems like it's actually intelligent. And I won't lie, it is the creepiest looking thing ever. It does not look natural at all. It just looks really disturbing. I think it's another topic that's worth bringing up and discussing, is like different AI and what they can do. There's some really, really neat AI out there that have like a lot of purposes. Like, for instance, there's AIs that, let's see, what's their thing of? Some that like generate images. You feed them like a thing and they generate an image, or you can like get them to caption or whatever. I know there's one like visual image bot or whatever. I know there's also AI that are like meant for the sole purpose of making music, and those are some interesting ones. You feed them like a title or whatever, like give them like some stuff to work with, and then they create a song afterwards. It's also creepy how they work. Like, I remember like listening to some of the stuff on a stream like Vine. So I think I've listened to like there's some AI music generating program, and like you put like a thing in it, and you see the results shortly after. Like I think he gave it like what was it? I can't remember. Like the Beatles, was it Beatles or David Bowie or something like that? And it like made like music that sounded just like it came from the artist or the band, and really, really unnaturally like weird sounding, because it was like very much like it came from somebody. I think it was like some with Elvis, whatever. Like to make music for like dead people or like bands that don't exist anymore, that kind of thing. It was really fucking weird. It was neat, and it sounded way too realistic. Like it was some song released in another parallel universe, excuse me, or something. Really fucking bizarre to say the least. Also, another thing that's interesting AI wise, being like AI, what's the right word for it? Maybe art or whatever. You see them like design images and they look really, really funny. Or you can also see something that like you give them an image and they like redo it in like a certain art style. There's like, it's interesting to see computers like do art where they just do like computerized like art, and you see like what they create. Some of it's just like visual vomit that actually has nothing and is just like no point to it. But then you see them make very, very interesting looking stuff that's hard to say if it actually qualifies as art or not. AI like nowadays is really fascinating. So many different AIs, a lot of them for like stupid points, like making like type a picture or whatever, or like I said, making music. Some of them are really cool, some of them are really lame and really weird, frankly. Also, there's one that I haven't mentioned that's pretty good, like program I've talked about in the stream. I've thought about streaming it sometime. It seems like it'd be a worthwhile stream. AI Dungeon, something I've had a lot of interest in, I think would be pretty good. I'd like to stream that at some point. I feel like I would have a lot of interest in playing around with AI Dungeon on stream, seeing what exactly we can accomplish using it, and seeing if anything cool happens. I'd be down for that. It's a really good storytelling AI for like making up whatever kind of story. Select whatever theme you want, whether it's horror, select a survival theme, like something for, so what was it, survival horror. There's like, what's the right word, I guess, like old age, maybe, not sure that's the right word. I think, I'm not sure what the right, I'm trying to remember what the right word is. You know what I'm trying to talk about, like those kind of like fairy tale like stories, those kind of things. You can do custom prompt stories, you do a futuristic one, all types of different stuff. It's fascinating. I think a lot of people have used the AI for making porn stories. I think I've probably messed around with stupid shit like that before myself, and it's like, it's kind of ruined the AI a little bit. I mean, not really a big deal, but it makes the AI a little hard to use, but it's a very, very smart AI when it's not too busy trying to create porn, instead of like reading what you give it and giving you really weird, confusing stuff to read back. Very, very great for making stories, and very, very interesting to say the least. I actually enjoyed reading quite a bit, like I've said on stream, so it's a very, very fun AI to use if you just want to make a story and get a few laughs or come up with something interesting and see how weird and how deep the AI can get it. I genuinely enjoy using AI Dungeon. I think in a future stream I might actually see about streaming it. I think it'd be fun. We could probably even do something where we'd sit down and like people give like stuff to type into the AI, and we see how the story comes out, see if it ends up making anything interesting or not, and see if there's like any worthwhile stuff that comes up. Frankly, yeah, I'd like to do something like that. I think it'd be a lot of fun, so if anybody's interested, I'll definitely look into it. I'm going to take some opinions on this and see what people receive for it, and if we have enough people that are interested, yeah, we'll do AI Dungeon on another stream. I'd like to do like a reading stream in general. There's a lot of fun reading out there, so yeah, I'll look into that. That seems like it'd be something that'd be worthwhile. Probably a good idea to do an AI Dungeon session. Okay, let me see. I'm going to have to look for another thing I want to talk about. I don't have to talk much more, obviously, but got 5 more encounters, and I'm not stopping until I reach those, so Let's see what else is there. One more topic I want to bring up. Give me a second or two. Did I not hit the runaway thing to leave? No, I don't want to throw a heal ball. I want to see my Pokeballs for whatever reason. I got a bunch of the April balls, and what the? I was gonna say I have a bunch of Premier balls, and I couldn't find them, but yeah, I got that. I think I have any like, I don't know if I have any Ultra Balls or not, do I? That's weird. I thought I'd stocked up on Pokeballs more. They didn't make it so hard to get the cool ones, like the April balls. That's something that's kind of lame, is it's hard to find some of the better stuff in the game if you want to use that, or have like a cool looking Pokeball for a Pokemon. I kind of want to do like a pattern set for the like most of the shinies. I'm gonna try and stick to what I've been doing for my raid legendaries and do Premier balls for the main 5 Regis that are in these temples for shinies, and then when it comes to Regigigas, I think I want to use a Beast Ball since the guaranteed captures. I think the blue on Regigigas looks really good too, so it's like if there's no point in not using a Beast Ball, it's going to be captured, then yeah, I might as well throw whatever looks coolest at it, and I think the Beast Ball would be a very, very good choice. Thankfully, you can see if it's shiny ahead of time, so you don't have to waste a ball. I don't think there's an easy way to get some of that stuff. I know you can buy Beast Balls like the Dynamite Ore, but I wouldn't really want to waste it and use it on that. If I did, I'd have to hoard it and make sure I got plenty of it before I started spending on those, so yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't want to do that. Anyway, let's see, one other topic that'd be good to talk about or whatever right now. Let's see. I think I've mentioned this before. Maybe I'm wrong. And here's another thing that'd be fun, or a fun topic to discuss. What'd you guys do first in like pack if you were stuck in a zombie apocalypse? I think that's going to be a topic that'd be rife with plenty of room for discussing. Like, what all would you want to carry with you? There's a lot of good answers, and some of them are bad answers, obviously. You wouldn't want to take, like, heavy stuff that'd weigh you down. Also, you'd want to be prepared for it. Like, you wouldn't want to be, hopefully, like, in shape so you don't have to deal with it. I feel like that'd be pretty neat. I think spell Apocalypse POC, I think. Lips, I think it's right. If I got it wrong. APOCOLYPSE, I think that's it. If I got that wrong, whatever, doesn't matter too much. Don't remember if that's the right spelling or not. That's another thing that's interesting to talk about in general, is just apocalypses and like, you guys think the world will end? I think it'll probably end eventually, but like, how will it end? I don't know. I hope we don't have to find out anytime soon. I don't know if I'd want to be alive to see the end of the world. Might be better to die off peacefully than have to see exactly how the world ends. I mean, who knows? Maybe it wouldn't be terrible. Maybe it would be. I wouldn't want to experience it probably, though. Okay, I think there's not really much else I want to say here. I mean, I'm nearly done with the hunt, and I only have like one more to get. I mean, I'm going to end in just a moment or two, and I get done with this since we haven't got the shiny, and I was only going up to 2100, so yeah. I hope you guys at least enjoyed the stream. I tried my best to keep this entertaining. Maybe it wasn't the most interesting, but I wanted to make this something worth talking about, something interesting. I'll hopefully be able to make the next stream a little more interesting too, because I'm going to be going for a little bit longer, but yeah. It's been a fun stream. I enjoyed hanging out and chatting with you guys. If you guys have fun, you have any good luck with anything you're doing, like whether or not you do shiny hunting or any games you're playing, that'll be a fun thing to talk about when the next time we get back to streaming again on like Saturday. Talk about whatever games you've been playing again. Discuss. Talk about fun multiplayer stuff or talk about fun single player stuff, whatever. I have another game series I'm thinking of that I enjoy playing. I might go back and play some if I'm interested in. There's some stuff I want to finish too that I haven't done, like I So I want to go back and finish that ROM hack. I ended up delaying finishing it, and I shouldn't have, and I wanted to finish it. That Pikmin ROM hack I was playing on, I enjoy that quite a bit, so might do that. Hopefully next stream will be a lot of fun and have a lot of things to talk about. Anyway, I think that's plenty, and I think we're done. So we reached 2100. Unfortunately, we still haven't got the shiny yet. I wish we could be done with like a shiny and actually have something to show for it, but I will be dropping the stream for here tonight, and I hope we can get good luck next time. Anyway, see you guys on probably Saturday, maybe later if things don't go well. And I hope you all have a great day or night. See you guys soon. Bye, everybody. Take care.